What's up everyone and welcome to the Mash and Drum Whiskey Room. Today is the final round blind tasting the top 10 selling bourbons in the US, according to the online wine and liquor ordering and delivery service website Drizzly. But by popular demand and from my own curiosity, I've added a twist to the final round. So after the first two rounds, we had Buffalo Trace, Woodford Reserve, Knob Creek 9-year, and Evan Williams make it to the finals. But a lot of feedback from you guys, and you were surprised, and so was I, that in this top 10 list from Drizzly, both Wild Turkey and Old Forester were not on the list. So today, I'm adding Wild Turkey 101 and Old Forester 86 proof into the mix to find out how it could affect the final selection against the top four. Now, if any of you missed the list, then take a look at the top 10 selling bourbons according to Drizzly one more time while I set up the final round. All right, guys, so now that you saw that top 10 list, if you haven't yet, pretty surprising results. Again, no Wild Turkey on that list or no Old Forester. So I've added them to the blind flight by popular demand. Essentially what this does is create a best everyday sipper blind mashup. We have 6 bottles. 5 of these are relatively available everywhere. Buffalo Trace might be a little bit harder to find in some areas, but it's probably the easiest thing to find from Buffalo Trace out there. If you were shocked by the top 10 list, figuring Wild Turkey 101 and Old Forester was not in that list as well. If you look at the lineup, we basically have a different bourbon from a different distillery across the board, which is pretty exciting to me because I think all 6 have relatively great pedigrees, great flavor. They're in this top 6 for a reason, so let's put them all head to head and see what happens. We're gonna start here on this side, and let's go with number 1. Here we go. So the nose on number 1 is just classic bourbon notes. This is vanilla frosting, vanilla cake. Definitely some cinnamon cherry notes in here. Some nice pepper. Man, caramel, citrus. For our first pour on this one, it's pretty, this nose so far is pretty good. Let's go for a sip. Very solid bourbon, a lot of flavor there. Again, caramel, citrus, yeah, orange zest all over the place, cinnamon, a lot of vanilla frosting here too. That's really good. Man, for the first one, So again, I want to mention that these are the only bourbons that I've had today. So my palate's fresh. The first one I think always kind of hits you, really exciting and really delicious. We'll see, as we go through this and go back to it, if it stays that way. But so far, the first one is absolutely delicious. Gonna take one more sip of this one. Just really sweet, great finish. I love the caramel, the vanilla frosting, the orange zest. A lot of baking spices too. That's so far, I know I've only had one, but that was really good. All right, let me take a couple notes. All right, let's go to the letter B here, or number 2, whatever you want to call it. Also on this nose now, coming off that one, this one is giving me deep fried banana. There's like a banana doughy note going on here. A lot of vanilla, a lot of caramel. This one's a little bit oakier than the first one too, I think. Yeah, this A is a little bit sweeter. This one's coming off a little bit more, like I said, deep fried banana, oak, rich vanilla, caramel. There's a hint of a chocolate note in this one as well. Really different nose on this one than letter A, but still very, very balanced, very delicious. I like this one a lot. There's a slight nuttiness to it as well. Maybe like a roasted almond. Really good nose. Let's go for a sip. Very sweet. I'm gonna guess that's definitely a lower proof than A. That one just finished a little bit easier. Again, I had some water. Let me go for another sip, see how it fares. Yeah, that is sweet. That is extremely balanced. Really good oak notes. Really good caramel, vanillas. Again, a little bit of that like deep fried banana thing going on. Some spice, some cinnamon, a little bit of nuttiness. Great balance. Man, letter A might be a little bit sweeter, different flavors, but letter B is kind of bringing that really nice balance between oak and sweet. That one's really good too. All right, take some notes. All right, we're going to letter C now. See what we get. This one's bringing a corn sweetness, a little bit of light vanilla, light caramel. There's a very rich nutty note here. A little bit of like honey roasted, like peanut butter a little bit. There's a lot of like corn sweetness, like I mentioned. The flavors here are a lot lighter compared to A and B. Maybe a little bit on the younger side on this one. All right, let's go for a sip of this one. Man, that one is a lot less flavorful compared to A and B. A little thinner. Still pretty solid. It's sweet, it's balanced. I mean, it made the top 6 for a reason, I think, but not a ton going on here. Let's go for one more sip of this one. Yeah, this one is just, again, it's balanced, but it's just in a different way than letter B was. I was harping on the balance of letter B, but letter C has that same balance. It's just a lot lighter and a lot, I don't know, there's a youthfulness to it. It's not super intense. I really like how A and B kind of brings the flavors and the balance and the oak, where letter C does have balance, but the sweet, the corn, the nuttiness to it, a little bit of that peanut butter note, light caramel, light vanilla. Again, balance, a little bit of cinnamon on the back end as well. Solid bourbon, but it's not wowing me like A and B did. So take some notes. All right, we're moving on to the D. Here we go. Let's see what we got on the nose here. Oh, this one has a great nose too. This one is absolutely rich. Oak, a little bit of cherry there. Oh man. That one, talk about balance. This one's coming off a little like B. It's a little bit different though on the flavor profile, what I'm getting. This is more oak. Again, I'm getting a little bit more of a peanut characteristic here, like salted peanut. There's a nice cherry and fruit note going on as well. Probably the fruitiest I've had out of all of them so far. A had a nice fruitiness to it. B did as well, but B was more banana. A was a little bit more citrus. This is coming across a little bit more cherry. There's some citrus in here as well, but to me it's a little bit more cherry. Cinnamon spice. Definitely richer vanillas and caramels here. This has a great nose. Let's go for a sip. Here we go. Oh yeah. Again, great balance. Yeah, this is like, not like peanut butter like I was getting on C. This one is a little bit more honey roasted, salted peanut. Man, but great cherry flavor, good oak balance. Decent finish on here as well, getting a nice spice. Wasn't really getting a finish at all pretty much on letter C. B had a light finish. A was also had actually a really good finish. But letter D is also bringing a really nice finish too. Yeah, just a solid bourbon. Let's go for another sip here. Yeah, the more I'm sipping this one, the more fruitier it's getting, the more interesting it's getting. A little more cherry, cinnamon, definitely good vanilla. But the oak spice and the balance it's bringing with that cherry note and that peanut note. This is more a little bit along the lines of like peanut butter and jelly than anything. Whereas this was kind of like an artificial peanut type note. But still, very good. That's probably up there too. In this blind flight so far. All right, grab some notes. All right, we're on to letter E. Oh, E is just a candy bomb. Super sweet on the nose. Oh, this is vanilla, cotton candy, Oh man, cinnamon roasted pecans, strawberry. What the hell is this strawberry note coming from? That's crazy. Maybe it's that cotton candy strawberry combination. Man, caramel. Tons and tons of vanilla. This is pure like vanilla cake, just jumping out of the glass. Vanilla frosting as well. A little bit different than the vanilla frosting I was getting at A. Man, that's good. All right, let's go for a sip of this one. Yeah, that's delicious. Again, that is just all vanilla cream, custard. Take any like rich vanilla note, you know, vanilla dessert that you've ever had, and that's what's really jumping out of the glass. A little bit of caramel, not as the vanilla I think is overpowering a little bit. Then you're getting these nice fruity notes in here as well. Hint of citrus. Again, that little bit of a cinnamon note as well. Go for another sip. It's not a super long finish on this one, but I do appreciate the sweetness that's going on. There's just so much sweetness, really great mouthfeel too on this one. This one's a little bit viscous on the mouthfeel. I really like it. I love the way it kind of, the sweet flavors linger around. It's almost like it doesn't need a long finish because there's so much sweetness going on. One more sip of this one. Yeah, that's just pretty much dessert in a glass. Really good. All right, we're on our last one. It's letter F. Here we go. Oh, that's interesting. So this one smells like chocolate covered bananas. Man, chocolate, banana. I mean, let's be honest, banana note makes me think Jack Daniels. Jack Daniels is part of Brown-Forman. Brown-Forman owns Old Forester, Woodford Reserve. I don't know, I would think this might be, if I was a betting man, this would be either Woodford or Old Forester possibly. It's very light, a lot of cinnamon. I like that little bit of chocolate note there too. Definitely some oak spice. Man, I like the nose on this one. It's very, if you like that banana note, it's kind of nice. Let's go for a sip. Ooh, that was nice and sweet on the palate as well. Very easy. I thought I had maybe a couple of these pegged, but now that one kind of threw me off a little bit. Let me go for another sip of this one. Yeah, the more that banana chocolate is kind of hanging around, good spice, vanillas, getting maybe the slightest hint of like a cherry, maybe a little bit of maple syrup there too. That one's really nice too. Not a huge long finish on that one either. Go for another sip. Another solid bourbon. Out of all six, I think we have a few that stand out. I think it's gonna be hard to narrow these down. Let me take some notes real quick. All right, guys, so I'm gonna taste through these one more time just to get my order set and see where each one is gonna fall. Before I do that, I just wanna let you guys know that all of these bourbons are, again, they're all very available, very affordable. You have the Evan Williams, which might be the cheapest out of all these. I mean, this one only comes in at about 12 bucks, 13 bucks. The Old Forester 86. I think this one was about 20 bucks. Woodford Reserve is about 30 to 35, depending where you get it. I mean, sometimes I see it. 35 is usually the highest I see it, but I've seen it for 30. And sometimes even I've seen it on sale for about 28. Knob Creek 9-year, again, 35 bucks, highly available. Wild Turkey 101, what, $23, $24, 101 proof. Sometimes you got some really good aged bourbon in there. And then you have Buffalo Trace when you can find it for 26 bucks. I mean, all of these go to show you there's some really, really great bourbons on the shelf that are available, affordable, and we're tasting them all right now. So let's go through this one more time. Now that I'm coming off of all 5 of these, let's see how back to number 1, how it goes. So back to number 1 real quick. Number 1 is so good. It's like, I got almost like a vanilla, like a cream soda note on there. Really nice finish on that. Lingering around cinnamon spice, citrus. Man, that one's really good. Man, getting a nice fruit note on there now too. I like number 1 a lot. All right, let's go to number 2 here. That was the Balance Monster. Just perfect balance, chocolate vanilla, really, really delicious. on the palate there. Love the, I love how rich the caramel, vanilla, and the oak plays really well together. Definitely some citrus, definitely some fruit notes in there as well. One more sip on number 2. Yeah, that one had that little bit of banana note too, which again makes me think Woodford or Old Forester 86. Not sure which one that is. We'll find out soon once I place these. Let's go to number 3. Yeah, number 3 I think is kind of falling out here. Not a lot going on. Again, it's balanced, but it's very, very, very light. There's not a lot going on when you compare it at least to the first 2 and some of the others in here. All right, let's go to number 4. Number 4 is really good. Again, brings the balance, a little bit of that peanut type of flavor profile to it. Good oak spice, cinnamon, really well balanced. Not really sure where that one falls. It's kind of like it's not as sweet as maybe the other 2, or even as this one here, as letter E. But it does have such a really good flavor punch, good balance, good finish too. I definitely judge a lot on finish. Let's go to letter E here, see what we get. This was the candy bomb. Yeah, letter E is delicious. Again, yeah, it's like drinking candy. Again, I look for the balance, but I think what it lacks for in finish, what it lacks for in balance, it makes up for in sweet flavors on the front end, which are really potent, really good, very inviting. One more sip on that one. Yeah, unfortunately, when you come off these, there's not much of a finish, but I think if you were drinking this solely, it would just be a really nice, easy sipper. Again, very sweet. All right, let's go to the last one here. Again, chocolate, banana, good balance, cinnamon. I don't think there's enough going on there to push it through to maybe the top 3. This is probably like a mid-ranger out of all these 6. All right, guys, so it's time to place these. Let's find out if any of the top 10 made it to number 1 on the list, or if some of the dark horses here that were added, the Wild Turkey 101 or the Old Forester 86, did enough to crack the top 10 and kind of destroy the bracket here. See you in a second. All right, guys, so what I did is I went through my notes, and basically I think this was both easy and difficult because there were a couple of these that really, kind of separated themselves as not as flavorful or robust as the other 4. So for last place, I'm gonna go with letter C here. That one's gonna go last. That one just really did the least for me. Second to last place, I'm gonna put letter F. I think that one I did like the flavors in that one. I thought it was good. It just wasn't offering me enough of a flavor punch or a finish on it to kind of warrant moving on. All right, so now it came down to the top 4 here, and I think for 4th place, I'm gonna go with letter B or number 2, whatever you wanna call it, because as good and as balanced, as sweet as I thought it was, that's really all it was. It was just a really beautifully balanced bourbon, but nothing made it stand out like the other 3 did. It's very sweet, very delicious, easy sipping, great balance, great oak, a little bit of chocolate, vanilla, caramel, absolutely delicious bourbon. There just wasn't enough unique about it that was standing apart from the other 3. So B is going into 4th place. Now we got to top 3. I had a lot of trouble figuring out what 2nd and 3rd was gonna be because one of them I loved the sweetness of it, and the other one I loved the balance and a little bit more on the finish. I don't know. This was probably the hardest one. I think I have a solid number 1, but when it came down to 2 and 3, it really just, I don't know, might just be my mood here. But I'm gonna pick letter D for 3rd place. So for 2nd place, it really came down to letter A or letter E. Between these 2, one of them had really great finish, really great sweetness. Another one was just kind of really good sweetness. I like a little bit more of a balance. I like the sweetness, I like the finish. So I put letter E, which had all the sweet, all those good flavors in 2nd place. And my 1st place was number 1 right here. I'm gonna keep it right there. There's my lineup. All right, you guys know what already the order is, but it's time for me to find out what came in what place. All right, guys, here we go. I'm very excited. This is one of the coolest blind tastings I've done in a while. I really enjoyed this one. Let's see what came in last. Evan Williams, not surprising. Evan Williams came in last place. Evan Williams was the surprise of the last round. A lot of people didn't think it was going to get past Bullet, which was the #1 on the Drizzly list, but I actually took it over. I like the balance better. I like the sweetness, but compared to these others, it just really fell flat. All right, let's go to second to last. The one that was added, Old Forester, comes in. But again, Old Forester still beat out Evan Williams, which was in that top 10 list. Old Forester, I think, just adds a little bit more sweetness than Evan Williams does. A different sweetness, though. It definitely has the banana, the chocolate thing going on. Like I said, this is more peanut, caramel, like Cracker Jack type flavors. This is banana, chocolate, a little bit of cherry, and some oak, just to kind of help you along with some flavor profiles that you might like. All right, now it gets interesting. We still have Wild Turkey 101 Buffalo Trace. I'm gonna move this over here. All right, we have our top 4, which is no surprise to me. I thought these would be in the top 4. Let's see what happens. Fourth place. Fourth place, okay, so this is the one that threw me off because I thought this could have been it. It's Woodford Reserve. So I had mentioned Woodford Reserve is the super, super balanced bourbon in this shootout, and it really comes across that way. Woodford is just a great balanced bourbon. It's solid, not too oaky, not too sweet, perfect balance, always great flavor. It's actually one that I drink not too often. I like to go to the double oaked a little bit more, but this is a very solid bourbon. All right, Wild Turkey 101, Knob Creek, and Buffalo Trace. I think most of you out there picked one of these to possibly come out on top. Let's go to the third one. Okay, well, that's surprising, but not because of the flavors. Third place goes to Knob Creek 9-year. Yeah, so this one had the peanut, it had the fruit, the cherry, good finish. But the more sips I took, I don't know, maybe the less interesting it got, but it's still a damn good bourbon for 30, 35 bucks. You can't go wrong. I mean, it's 9 years old. You don't get many bourbons that are that old that are that affordable. Knob Creek is always on my bar, always on my shelf. So Wild Turkey 101, come on. You guys called for it. You thought it was gonna, kick ass here. It just might. I have a feeling I picked Wild Turkey as #1 because it had that great finish when the Buffalo Trace was the candy bomb. Let's see what #2 is. What? Come on. Drizzly people. Buffalo Trace, #2. Wild Turkey 101, #1. Wild Turkey 101, available everywhere. 20-something dollars. Guys, Wild Turkey 101 is not a college bourbon. It is not, I mean, yeah, you can mix it with Coke, you can mix it with whatever you want, but this is damn good. Wild Turkey 101 has 6, 8, 10-year-old bourbon mixed in here. It's got some great age, great flavor. Not even in the top 10 from Drizzly. Come on, Drizzly guys. Wild Turkey 101 just always seems to kick ass in blinds, and it does here. I honestly thought the Buffalo Trace was gonna finish behind Knob Creek, but it actually did really good in this blind tasting. So unfortunately, Buffalo Trace might be the hardest to find in here, but Knob Creek, Woodford, Old Forester, Evan Williams, all of these are available, affordable. Wild Turkey 101, people watching, Drizzly, go get it. It's available everywhere. It's affordable, delicious. Just a great blind tasting. I guess my everyday sipper, I'm keeping it Wild Turkey 101 because not only is it affordable and available, but it's delicious. All right, guys, well, I hope you enjoyed the final round of the top 10 best-selling bourbons from Drizzly as we threw a little monkey in the wrench, added Wild Turkey 101 and Old Forester 86 with Wild Turkey 101 coming out on top again. Gotta love it. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that subscribe button below. Please hit that like button. If you haven't yet, follow me on Instagram and follow me on Twitter. And as I always say, it's not about the whiskey, it's the people you share it with. I hope you enjoyed this 3-part series, and I'll see you next time on The Mash and Drum. Take care, everybody.